How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And welcome to the Marvel Solicitations for the month of December of 2025. And I am not doing this alone. I've got Omnibus with me from Aussieverse. How are you, sir?
Thank you very much, Omar, for having me here. I'm under the weather, so if my camera goes off for a second, it's just because I'm coughing and spitting up, but I'll be fine. Thank you very much for allowing me to join you today.
Good. I'm glad you're here, and thank you for being here. You're such a trooper. Yes, that is Aussieverse's channel. And Sean from the Comic Pals. What's up, dude?
Hey, hello. It is very good to be here. I am thankful, Omar, that you invited me to hang out, as always. I cannot wait to talk about these solicits. There's a lot of really good stuff in previews for December.
And I am the Uncanny Omar, and in a few minutes, Curtis is going to be joining us too. And anybody else that I invited in has the link, but I think most people are sick. Doctor's appointment. I think that's what's going on. So, and thank you, James, for spreading the Comics Pal YouTube channel.
Thank you, James.
And you are the greatest of all time. Sean, pumped for Pal Pulls tonight.
Yes.
The Pal Pulls. What is that? So,
Sean? Pals Pulls is a show we do every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/thecomics where we review the week in comics. So today we're going to be talking about books like Absolute Batman number 12, which was a banger, Captain America number 3, a bunch of books that dropped this week, Batman Dark Patterns number 10. So it should be a great time. If you guys are free at 8 p.m. Eastern, head on over and hang out with us and talk comics.
And I don't know how you keep up with that, because I read everything in collected editions, and I have a hard time with, like, oh my gosh, these books are all coming out this week. Single issues are just like, man, it's all. Do you cover DC, Marvel, and independent comics too?
Yeah, dude. I mean, next week is going to be insane because we have the DC Marvel crossover starting, and I know I'm getting at least 3 covers. It's going to be mania, but I am very excited for that.
How many covers?
At least 3, and those suckers are, I believe, $8.99 a pop.
$8.99.
So I'm telling you right now that I am planning on dropping nearly $30 on just one
comic. You know, there's this thing called collected editions that collects all the covers in the. Have you heard about this, by the way?
Yeah, but that's not as cool.
Oh,
that's not as cool. Ouch!
No, I want the. Look, I love collected editions, but I want the cover that I want in my hands.
You sound just like my wife Melanie. Like, just like my wife Melanie.
I'm a Wednesday warrior, brother.
She is too, man. We got a new store that opened up this last week, and she's already been there twice. And I was like, whoa, hey, we need to eat too. Like, that's a lot of comics you're buying. How many copies of Batman, the poly bag #1, did you get?
So that I actually had the wherewithal to avoid. I did not buy the poly bag because I don't like foil variant covers. And the only thing you got out of the poly bag was a foil cover. So for me, it's a waste of time. You couldn't even get like an exclusive cover outside of the 1 of 100, 1 of 300 golds that they did. It's gambling.
Wait. What?
Yeah. So
you weren't guaranteed one, or?
So with the new Batman #1, every single foil variant you could possibly get existed as a variant you could buy that just wasn't foil. So the only unique element in the blind bag was the foiling of the covers, and I don't like foil covers, so I passed.
Oh, okay. I got what you. Still crazy. That's still crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude.
Hey, Bruce, how are you, buddy? I would assume it is definitive that these 2 gentlemen did not watch Omar while growing up. That's right, because they're not.
Don't know me. Don't assume my age.
What makes you think Sean's grown up? He can't play that piano.
Don't do that, Omar. Don't do that, because I will go back there and I will lay it down. We'll turn this stream into something totally different. I will get you demonetized by playing Mozart live. How about that?
Isn't that like public domain now? Like, isn't it all free music?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that I don't know. That I don't know.
You are so well educated, my friend. So a big thank you to David Gabriel and all the folks at Marvel for sending us this advanced solicitations. This is the December solicitations that will come out, I believe, at the third week of the month. Sometimes it's the fourth week of the month, third week of the month. And last but not least, and at the last second, my buddy Curtis from the
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Curtis.
Yeah, it's
How are
great
you
to
doing?
be here. I'm happy to be a part of this stream with two people that I don't stream with normally. So this is great. Omnibo and Sean from Comic Pals. Nice to be here with you.
It's nice to be
Feelings
here with
mutual.
you, dude. Big fan of you, man.
Thanks. Big fan of you two as well.
There you go, Curtis. Curtis, are you still doing unboxes? Are you still doing the Marvel Epic podcast?
The podcast itself is on an indefinite hiatus, but I do streams and yeah, he's always there, brother.
I'm going to get together with Max next week. Like we made plans.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Very cool.
sweet.
Because he's in the Netherlands, and I'm like, hey, I'm in Amsterdam. Come and see me. So we're going to be like two big nerds going to the comic book stores and coffee shops. He's going to show me around different coffee shops too.
I want to vlog.
And are you going to
on
do
that day.
live streams? Are you going to do live streams from there?
From the coffee shop? Oh, that's going to be amazing. I'll get canceled and demonetized all within the first 5 minutes. Curtis, I know you're still doing unboxings too, right?
That's right. Yeah. I on Tuesdays. I've moved it to Tuesdays because it seems like Marvel sends me books on Mondays. So on Tuesdays, I'm going to do some unboxings, and then yeah, that's my regular schedule in the afternoon, Eastern time, 3:30.
Good deal.
Sorry, Pacific time.
And what other Clover Press books are coming out soonish? I know I saw the Dick Tracy announcement, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, so we just launched a crowdfunding campaign on BackerKit, not Kickstarter. We moved over just for this one to try it out, BackerKit, which is another platform that it's actually, they're really, really great people to work with. And so it's making the process super easy. Dick Tracy, we're bringing it back to print with new soft cover editions. We with the Library of American Comic and IDW, we did like 29 volumes of all of Chester Gould's Dick Tracy in hardcover, and those are long out of print. And they're not going to be reprinted like that anymore. We're doing soft cover books now, broken up by year, and starting with Dick Tracy's best years, 1941 to 1944. At least those are my favorite years, and yeah, they're $30 each, I think, and then just on there you go on BackerKit. Thanks for the link there.
Thank you, James.
That's pretty sweet.
Okay, I saw questions about restocks and reprints. New Avengers, no. I will say there are no restocks that I have seen or heard of, but I know things like Spectacular Spider-Man by DeMatteis is out of print. I think both covers now. The volume
good for it.
1
That's great.
standard edition is gone. The direct market cover is still there, and there was something else that went. Just kind of keep an eye out in case you see them at a store and you really wanted something. I mean, they're still available. I think some places online still have them, but whatever they have, that's it. Yeah, what kind of cover are we talking about? These flex bound covers?
No, it's a standard soft cover, and what we're doing actually is kind of neat. We're going to put them all in sturdy slip cases, and they're going to be vertical slip cases. So the book itself is 8.5 by 11 landscape, but the slip cover, you put it into the top, so you can actually file it on your bookshelf easier, and it's not going to stick out. And we've seen a couple of companies do stuff like this recently. Fantagraphics did like top-loading slip covers for their new Popeye soft covers, and there are new editions of Calvin and Hobbes that are also landscape, but with top-loading slip cases. So they just shelve way better on your shelf. And so we're doing that too, and they look pretty spiffy.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Curtis. And without further ado, what you all have been waiting for, as well as we, let's go ahead and talk about these solicits. We got Curtis here, who loves talking about omnis. That's what we're going to be doing.
Bring it. Come on.
All right, kicking it off with the Ultimate Fantastic Four. This is Omnibus Volume 2. And this is collecting the rest of the Fantastic Four run, 33 through 60. Annual 2, Ultimate X-Men Fantastic Four 1, Ultimate Fantastic Four X-Men 1, the Ultimate X-Men Ultimate Fantastic Four Annual 1, and Ultimate Fantastic Four Ultimate X-Men Annual 1, and Ultimate Fantastic Four Requiem. 896 pages, $100. No, as soon as I'm done with the stream, I got to edit, and then I got to pack. I ain't even had time to pack. I am devoted to you all. All right, here we go with Uncanny X-Men by Kieran Gillen Omnibus.
Ooh.
This is collecting Sword 1 through 5, Uncanny X-Men 534 to point 1 and 535 to 544, X-Men Regenesis, and then the relaunch of Uncanny X-Men 1 through 20. That was the first relaunch, the first time. AVX Consequences 1 through 5. I did ask to add Generation Hope, some of those issues, like you all suggested. Some things Marvel said yes to, some things Marvel said no to. So there you go. I can't. Do you know where the Netherlands are? Not a driving distance from here. Like, I got to fly there. 1,000 pages, $125.
That's good comics. That's good comics.
Both of those runs I never finished, so I'm really excited to get those. Both of them, Uncanny X-Men and the other one that I've already forgotten about.
Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four? Yeah.
Yeah, I never finished
Give
both
it up
of
by
them.
that point as well. I kept on buying that title all the way to the end, but I didn't read like the last 20 issues of them. So
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
Let's see. Marvel are really isolating a lot of their customers with the new way they produce their books. Not everyone can afford to pre-order everything they would like to get. Yes, and they have done this before in the past. A few years ago, they cut it closer to pre-order dates.
What
And
is
then
the
I
new
think
way that they're producing their books?
they're just making it closer to pre-order numbers, kind of like what
Okay,
they did about 3 years ago. But the problem is that if they do overprint, then that's when you start seeing stock over at Ollie's. I'm sure people have,
Yeah. So
if you're in a group
Yeah.
somewhere, someone's already bragging about all the Omnis, all the Black Panther Omnis they put at Ollie's. And that is liquidated prices. And well, Curtis can tell you, he works for a publisher. Nobody wants to liquidate their books. That's a loss.
It's a loss, and nobody wants to store them in their warehouse like a surplus for a long period of time too, because you always have more books coming in. So it's like you got to get them out of there. You got to sell them for dirt cheap. So yeah, Marvel is doing a lot, definitely a lot to streamline all of their production and make sure that their costs are down and the profits are up, like most companies try and do. And yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, they're going to do a certain percentage over whatever the pre-sales are for sure, but that does mean that you can't wait on these things for too long, otherwise they'll disappear.
Yeah, and I think, like, keep in mind, just like this comment right here, DC does it better. Marvel prints 35% more books than DC does. Like, even nowadays, it's still maybe not at 35. It used to be about 35%. Nowadays, it's probably more like 25% more books, especially when it comes to the big books. That's why DC can keep things in stock. DC doesn't have the backlog that Marvel does. Marvel has, I mean, if you look at your shelves, you look at how many Marvel books you have, and then look at how many DC books. Now, DC, it's going to be interesting in 5 years how DC is handling this, because they're going to be in the same boat. They're going to be printing all these big, new, wonderful books and stories, and then they're going to have to start a new reprint program. And let's get to the big one here, Thunderbolts. So Thunderbolts is one of the most wanted Omnis. People have been asking for a long time. This is what would be really Thunderbolts Omnibus Volume 4. This takes place before the Uncaged Omnibus, so it goes right after 3. But Marvel is calling it the Dark Reign Omnibus, which is something we all kind of figured they would do. This is the beginning of the Warren Ellis era, and then it goes into the Andy Diggle era, and then that goes into the Christos Gage era. So it is collecting Thunderbolts 76 through 81 plus issues 110 to 143. 76 through 81, if you're thinking, why the heck is that collected in there? Those are the fight bolts. Those are the issues that were not collected in Thunderbolts Omnibus Volume 3. When I announced that, people were like,
Really?
people were divided. They were like, who cares? Because that's the fight bolts, right? Like that was that era where they fired the creators and they were like, let's try something new. Let's make it a Fight Club type of book. And John Arcudi was attached to the project. He's a great artist, but it was weird. But they're putting it here. No issue left behind. 110 and 143, The Desperate Measures, one shot, Breaking Point, International Incident, Reason in Madness, Penance, Relentless 1 through 5, Deadpool 8 through 9, Secret Warriors 7 through 9, and the material from Civil War Choosing Sides and Civil War The Initiative. 1,328
I was so scared.
pages. What's that, buddy?
I was getting so scared. I was getting so scared that this one was never going to come out. I was dying for this book to be made. And when the sales weren't that great from the rest of the Thunderbolts, I was really getting concerned. So when you announced this one, I was very, very happy.
It was amazing. It took a little bit of convincing, but it was a wonderful phone call with Marvel. But yeah, like it's what fans want, and I hope you all pre-order the crap out of this one to show them that you really wanted this book. There's two covers. The Mike Deodato Jr. cover will be the direct market cover, and then you've got the Marko Djurdjevic cover here, the standard edition cover. I love Mike Deodato Jr.'s art. Plus, it's got a couple of characters like Radioactive Man, Swordsman in there. But
Omar,
yes, sir.
Would you consider yourself to be a big Thunderbolts guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so in your opinion, because to me, I'm not as big a Thunderbolts guy, but this is the definitive Thunderbolts for me. So, so like, how does this rank for you against the rest of the Thunderbolts history?
Oh, you don't want to know my ranking.
I do.
Okay, so I am a lot different than everybody else. My ranking would go Kurt Busiek, then Fabian Nicieza, then Jeff Parker, and then this. And down here would be the Thunderbolts Red team with Daniel Way. Yeah. And I know why people love this. Like, people love this era. It's dark, it's edgy, it's I mean, the bad guys won, right? Like the leader of the Thunderbolts is freaking Norman Osborn. You don't see a lot of comics like back then that were doing that outside of, like, the DC was doing their own thing with Lex Luthor, and Marvel was doing their thing with Norman Osborn, kind of setting him up to be this type of big character for the entire Marvel universe. Not just only Spider-Man. But, for me, it was so different. I think they missed the point of what the Thunderbolts were. It became more of like Suicide Squad in a way. But I get it. Things change, right? Like, you have to keep up with what's new, and comics are always changing. But I do know that there's a huge following for this. Like, my viewers love this, dude. What's that, Bo?
We need all the Dark Reign era collected. We need Siege. We need everything.
Yes. I love this era so much.
So this leads directly into Dark Avengers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, not the whole thing. The first 12 issues. So about like the first 12 issues will lead into Dark Avengers of this. So ignore.
And then there's Thunderbolts and Dark Avengers run side by side
for a little bit, and then they became Dark Avengers, wasn't it?
And then Thunderbolts was renamed after I think actually it was during the Jeff Parker era. They were renamed the Dark Avengers because the title Avengers sold better. So it's a little bit confusing. But yeah, you're right. Like the first maybe 15 issues is definitely after the crossover with Deadpool, like that. You'll see them transition into the Dark Avengers. Not all of them. Some of the characters will stay here. And then when Andy Diggle takes on the book, it'll be like the Black Widow, Yelena, and those characters that will be the main characters of Thunderbolts. And we will come back and talk about that. Ooh, baby. Incredible Hulk, The Return of the Monster Omnibus. This is the Bruce Jones era, collecting Incredible Hulk 34 through 76, Hulk Wolverine 6 hours 1 through 4, the Hulk Thing Hard Knocks 1 through 4, 1,264 pages, $125. This is the stuff that happens after the Dogs of War. So if you have that oversized hardcover and you've got the Planet Hulk Omnibus, this is the one that takes place in between them. And
this was such a gap filler.
It's a huge gap filler. It's a huge win for people that have been reading Hulk and have wanting it, much like what they did with the Byrne and Casey Omnibus. It's something that a lot of us have waited for. It's been collected in trade paperback. It's had a couple of OHCs that didn't finish out in that way. But this run, by the way, is a lot different. It's not the Hulk you're used to. It probably is a little bit more like Al Ewing's Hulk than any of the other Hulk runs. It's supernatural. It's got this, I don't know, this shows my age, but it's got this Hitchhiker TV show type of vibe to it, where it's like he's just wandering the land, and oh man, I love it, but I understand it's not for everybody.
Why do you? Because the way you pitched it just now made me super intrigued. What about it do you feel like isn't for everybody?
The supernatural story, monster of the week type of story when it comes to the Hulk, because you have like Bill Mantlo and Peter David's Hulk that did this whole thing with going deep into the psyche of the Hulk and who he is, and what the Hulk persona was, that it wasn't created by the big gamma bomb, right? It was more like this friend that Bruce Banner had all his life when his father beat him, and then it personified into the Hulk because of the gamma bomb. This is more of like what happened. Oh, shoot, that's gonna be a spoiler.
I was gonna say
what happens to one particular character and where they might be during this time when you think they're supposed to be dead, and it goes into this whole like philosophical almost journey of the Hulk, or Bruce Banner, really trying to figure out what happened to someone that had passed away. And it does feel very, very much like Bruce Jones, who comes from the world of horror. He wrote a lot of Warren magazine, like for Creepy and Eerie. Have you ever watched Masters of Horror? Are you a fan of horror?
I love horror, but I've never heard of it.
Oh, Masters of Horror is brilliant, man. It was a show on Showtime where a director was given one, like famous directors like Dario Argento, like John Landis, like famous horror directors were given one episode, and then we're standing, and one of them adapted. I can't remember who adapted it, but they adapted Jennifer, which is a Bruce Jones story. Freaking freaky, man. I loved it.
I never heard of that. That sounds incredible.
Or you could just pass on it, like Warren.
Here is another one I'm absolutely pumped for.
Where is Peter? This is his book. Decan, Dark Wolverine Omnibus, collecting this huge run of Decan. So you've got Dark Wolverine 75 through 90, Decan Dark Wolverine 1 through 23. You're not missing issues 1 through 74 of Dark Wolverine. Those were just called Wolverine with Logan and his Mighty Misadventures. It was the one that was started by Greg Rucka. And this is the follow-up to that, when Decan became Dark Wolverine for a while. So it's got Dark Wolverine 1 through 23 and 9.1, Dark Reign the List Punisher, so it's got that crossover, Wolverine Origins 47 through 48, Frankencastle 19 through 20, X-23 7 through 9, What If Wolverine Father, Dark Wolverine Saga, Daken Saga, and material from Wolverine, The Road to Hell. The book has 1,328 pages and retails for $150. I believe it's pronounced Daken. Thank you so much for that. Always helpful. Always helpful. Where is Peter? How has this book not summoned him?
So not only does it have wonderful literature inside like Frankencastle, but the rest of this run is just stellar. I devoured this run when it first came out. I was so into Daken, whatever his name is.
A Japanese name, right? So it would be Daken, right?
I thought it was Daken because D-A-K-E would be Dake. So Daken.
In Japanese? I thought it would be pronounced.
Probably not in
Daken.
Japanese, no.
I don't know. Sean, help us out.
Yeah,
you
I'm pretty sure it's Dakin, like Dakin.
I love that we're
Pretty sure
arguing
it's
about
Shang-Chi as
fictional
well.
characters' names, but that's the beauty of comics. Curtis, I know better than to ask you because you always call me out for making you pronounce names you can't. So I'll wait for the
This one I
creative.
don't know. We should ask Marjorie Liu.
How to pronounce it?
Yeah.
So you really like it, Sean? Bo really likes it.
Oh yeah,
I do too.
hey, I loved it.
What about you, Sean? Have you read this era? Any of this?
Yeah, yes. This is an awesome era. Again, like that Dark Reign era is one of my favorite eras in the history of comics. And Dakin became such an incredibly compelling character for me because of his relationship to his father and the fact that he almost rejoiced in murder in a way that you never really see Wolverine. And so that list issue where he faces off with the Punisher, I think any big fan of the Punisher should read that. Any big fan of Wolverine / Dakin should read that. And quite frankly, just good storytelling in general. That is an incredible comic. And all of this that's listed here is, I mean, this is the must-read material for Dakin.
I found the way that he could manipulate both sexes through his pheromones and just be such a whore, so compelling because he just didn't care and he just used people and
Prince could do that, and he was a cool, nice dude. Dakin ain't got nothing on Prince. That's my rating of that book. All right, moving on to Star Wars: The High Republic Phase 3, Trials of the Jedi. Collecting the High Republic 2023 1 through 10, Star Wars Acolyte Kelnaka, Star Wars The High Republic Shadows of Starlight 1 through 4, Fear of the Jedi 1 through 5, High Republic the Finale, and then material from Star Wars Revelations. The book has 528 pages and retails for $100. Yes, you're working. You are working, my friend. Roy. Spider-Man Wolverine Volume 1, the Janus Directory. Okay. Mark Guggenheim and Carrie Andrews teaming up. I didn't know about this series. Collecting Spider-Man and Wolverine 1 through 5. Okay, so it's the new Spider-Man Wolverine series. This is the one Melanie's been getting. I didn't know Carrie Andrews was on. Carrie Andrews, man, he's a type of artist that can just change his art style to fit whatever the mood of the story is. I really like that.
I bought this on the back of Carrie Andrews because I think he is brilliant. And during this run, his art was phenomenal. I am not a big fan of Mark Guggenheim, and I'll leave it there. But this is worth it for the price. The price of admission is worth it to see Carrie Andrews pencils in this book.
Okay. Yeah, I like his I like how he can change his style. He's got, for Reign, he had that whole like Frank Miller look. For the fantasy, what was it? Amazing Fantasy. He had that almost like painted style. And this, I mean, it looks like McFarlane. He's a guy. I like his art. And then, man, that's killer. His Wolverine. You know what his Wolverine reminds me of? Is the Marvel versus Capcom.
Totally.
100% yes. Yeah.
That's killer. Spidey's good too, but that Wolvie is awesome. The Thing. That's an Arthur Adams cover, it looks like, or Nick Bradshaw. Ooh, or Ryan Otley. What do you guys think? Ryan Otley. That's Ryan Otley. Look at those teeth. Blob's teeth.
Yeah, it's not Arthur Adams.
No, Nick Bradshaw.
Nick Bradshaw,
I should have taken a bet. I should have taken bets. This isn't a gambling show. Sorry about that, YouTube. Ignore that comment. Collecting The Thing 1 through 5. This is by Tony. Oh, Tony Fleece is writing this with Justin Mason on artwork, and the cover is by Nick Bradshaw.
I'm pretty sure I read that there's a Thing one-shot coming out, like the Jonathan Hickman Doom. And in it, Ben Grimm fights most of the Marvel universe, and it's all meant to be landscape every single page.
Yeah, who's the artist on that?
Well, I'm just surprised they haven't put that in this, unless they're going to do a treasury edition.
Oh, I'm sure they'll. I mean, if it's a big artist on it, they'll do a gallery or a treasury edition.
Yeah.
You remember who the artist was? It really depends on the artist.
No, I don't. I just remember reading the synopsis of it, going, that sounds pretty cool. You know, I don't really buy single issues, but
Lay, who was the artist on that?
You're
Ed
100%
McGuinness. Ed
right.
McGuinness.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Ed McGuinness. Yep.
Oh, Ed McGuinness draws one hell of a Hulk or thing too.
It's Marvel All in One 2025. It came out just a couple of weeks ago, actually. The end of August.
Thank you for that. Who are these cats? Oh, it's the new champions. All right, Steve Fox is writing the new champions with Ivan Fiorelli, Iguara, and Rory Coleman. This is collecting issues 1 through 8 of the new champions 2025 series, 184 pages, $24.99. So this is all 8 issues then? Yeah,
and it's some people really like it. I really tried to get into it, but when you've got names like what is the Kid Moon Knight's name? I don't know. They were just very DC sounding, like sidekick names.
Night Drifter.
I just couldn't get past them. The names were just ridiculous.
There's Hydra, Scarlet Witch's mysterious protege. They're not. I don't see any of the names. Is Hellrune one of the names? Night Drifter. Dude, Night Drifter sounds like a 90s comic. I'm in. Is he the one with roller skates? Well, that looks like Adam Kubert right there on Giant Size X-Men Second Genesis. This is collecting Giant Size X-Men 1 and 2, Giant Size Age of Apocalypse 1, Giant Size Dark Phoenix Saga, and House of M, and material from Free Comic Book Day 2025. Fantastic Four, Giant Size X-Men, 200 pages, $24.99. Moon Squire, thank you for that. I have asked everything that you all told me to, and they have said no and yes to some things, and that's all I know. Not detailed information, Kirk. I don't know what they said yes to and what they said no to. Sorry, but that's what they said. Hi, Omar. Deadly Class Deluxe 1 or Beyond, or Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond. Deadly Class will be 4 volumes. I'm saving you a little money.
There's good stuff
this
in
is
here.
the series.
Is this the Retcon series that?
Yeah, this is the one where Miss Marvel goes through the X-Men history as if she always existed there, whether it's Dark Phoenix or other, Age of Apocalypse or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And they're not bad. Like, I've only read the first one so far, which is Dark Phoenix, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, so is it retconning as in like, okay, never mind, that's a spoiler. I'll read it myself.
I think from after reading the first issue, my assumption is it's going to tell a story that by the end of it is not going to affect the timeline. That's what I would assume.
Well, okay. I can tell you because I read this. It's very much respecting the past. It's a Miss Marvel story that's just about giving her the experience of what the mutants have been through historically. It's almost like retroactively giving her the life experience to solidify her as a mutant, but it doesn't materially change what we already know about these events. There's a framing device as to why she's there, which I won't spoil, but everything you know and love is intact.
Okay. I just I want to know if it has like a Buffy season 5 effect. Where
no.
Okay.
Well,
no sisters.
Okay.
Sisters.
Yeah. Phoenix not Volume 3, Astral Bond. Stephanie Phillips continuing this run with Roy Mercado. This is collecting Phoenix 11 through 15, 112 pages. $15.99. That is a gorgeous cover by Lucas. Oh, Lucas Wernick is killing it on Storm. Is this still ongoing? Is there past issue 15?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Stephanie Phillips is stepping off the book. We don't technically know if it'll be canceled because they're going into the Age of Revelation event and all the books are on hiatus. Whether Phoenix will continue with a different writer, we don't quite know yet.
Gotcha.
I'm really digging it though. I've really enjoyed it.
And oh my goodness, the Vision and Scarlet Witch continuing their collected editions with the Vision and Scarlet Witch 2025 1-5. This is Fear the Reaper by Steve Orlando and Lorenzo Tameta, Jacopo Camagni. This is the one that had for a while just internal artwork by Russell Dodderman, which was like the only place you could find internal artwork by Dodderman, which makes me sad because I love his sequential art. What is this? Oh, it's Imperial. I haven't read any of it. I don't know anything about this, and I'm excited. Okay.
Oh man,
Imperial.
I read just the first issue, and it's I loved
this
it.
is collecting Imperial 1-4, Imperial War Nova Centurion, Planet She-Hulk, Imperial Guardians, Imperial War Exiles, and Imperial War Black Panther. 312 pages, $34.99. So this is Jonathan Hickman's book, but there's also Matt Groom and Chad McKay, Stephanie Phillips. They're writing. I assume they're writing their one-shots and miniseries. And Iban Coelho. Who's the main artist on Imperial?
So Iban Coelho and Federico Vincenti are the primary artists on Imperial.
Okay.
These one-shots fill in the blanks of the story. I would say that if you are a fan of Marvel Cosmic, there is no other book in the Solicits that means more than this one, because this is setting the stage for everything that's to come. And it just so happens to be maybe the best thing Jonathan Hickman has written in the last couple of years. So definitely.
Really? More so, I really like that Doom one shot. That was pretty good. I like that.
Well, yes, but that was more of a Sanford Green vehicle.
Oh, that's right. He did some of the plot too, didn't he?
Yeah. I honestly think they put Hickman's name on it for it to sell.
Where is my boy Sunspot, man? He was hyping Sunspot up to be something huge in the pages of his New Mutants.
Yeah.
Huh. I better see that, Hickman.
I'm excited to read the Exiles issue. What's that about?
I know that Exiles, I saw the picture of them, and it's like it's Lalandra and Professor Xavier, their daughter, and two other cats that I'm like, whoa, none of these people have been exiles before.
Yeah. All that's spinning out of yes, Imperial, but more to the point, it's spinning out of the more recent X-Men event, the when they were chasing Professor Xavier. I can't remember what it was called, but he went to space to be with Lalandra and rescue his daughter. Manhunt, X-Manhunt. Thank you.
Okay, so not spoiling anything, but is that Bruce?
No. So all the Hulks are in this one. Wait a minute. That looks like
it is
Scar.
Yeah,
Scar. Yeah.
Wait. Well, Bruce Banner is 1000% in this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that cover. I like the way She-Hulk looks a little bit like Gamora, but she's got that Buster sword. Where's that Scar?
No,
what they do to my boy?
That's Amadeus Cho.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, actually. Okay. And then Incredible Hulk, Volume 6, Monster Road, Philip Kennedy Johnson with Kev Walker and Adam Gorham, collecting issues 26 through 30 of Incredible Hulk, 120 pages, $17.99. I've been enjoying that series. Philip Kennedy Johnson bringing in the monsters, man. And Helverine, Volume 2, Hell Hulk Unleashed. Yes,
this is
more hellish
series.
Characters. Wait, are you enjoying this? Is that what you said, Omnibo?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay. It's crazy. It's got Benjamin Percy collecting issues 6 through 10. 112 pages, $15.99. And Darth Maul, Black, White, and Red is coming out in a trade paperback edition. And this is his anthology series, collecting issues 1 through 4. It's been collected in a Treasury edition before. All new, all deadly Gwenpool. Kevin Scott's writing this. He's the Star Wars guy, isn't he? Big Star Wars guy. Kevin Scott. I've interviewed him. He told me how to pronounce it. He's like, it sounds like Kevin. So Kevin Scott. Gwenpool 1 through 5. 120 pages, $17.99. This is a different Gwenpool, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Although the original Gwenpool is in it, there's a reason why there's this other Gwenpool that you'll need to read to find out.
Is this a Red Band book? Because
that
dude just got decapitated on the front cover. Okay. Fantastic Four Fanfare is coming out with all the. My wife actually has been reading these. It's a collection of just different creators. Mark Waid, Alan Davis, and Tom DeFalco, J. Michael Straczynski, Sarah Pichelli, people that have worked on the Fantastic Four before. And celebrating Marvel's first family. And Werewolf by Night is getting a new collection, collecting Red Band. Wow, all of those issues were Red Band?
And I think they were polybagged as well, weren't they?
The Red Band issues were polybagged, yeah. The rest of this isn't. They actually included the Michael Giacchino stuff, which is really cool. He's the composer who actually directed the Werewolf by Night mini that they did on Disney Plus.
That was so good. That's what I want to see more of. That like the one shot that does not look like Wimple. No, it does not. That's what I was asking if it was a different one. Oh, so Stephanie Phillips is taking over She-Hulk, and it's going to be set on Sakaar.
Oh,
remember when they said Red Band would never be collected? Yeah,
Yep.
I've heard that too. But I don't know where did they say that? Was it like they tell retailers that?
Yeah. They said they'd never be collected in collected editions, and then they were.
Wow, it's 10 issues, man. Of how much is? Hold on, I'm sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night just kept going. I was surprised every week.
Pages, $34.99, explicit content, and this is the Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom, those guys did the Power Rangers, and Luciano Vecchio and Jim Toe. And this is collecting Spider-Verse versus Venomverse 1 through 5, Web of Spider-Verse New Blood, and Web of Venomverse Fresh Brains. 176 pages, $24.99. Bloody as in Blood Hunt. Yes, Bloss. Miles, okay. I'm sorry about that, Curtis. What are we looking at, buddy?
This is the Miles Morales Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 3, Revivals and Revelations, from Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez and more. And let me see here. This is Cataclysm Ultimate Spider-Man numbers 1 through 3. And Ultimate Spider-Man 200, and then Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man. And they relaunched the title after that to give him his headlining title with the first 12 issues here. So I believe that this is the same as a complete collection that had already been released, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember. But this is the end of Brian Michael Bendis' time on Miles Morales.
And then it will be the Saladin Ahmed era.
I am so.
Continue with that? Go ahead, Sean.
I was just going to say, I am so glad that they've gotten around to these epics. I don't know, you guys would be able to say better than me if the cadence is quick on these, but I think that this is something that needs to be available in a relatively cheap format because Miles Morales fans are getting older. The young ones, the ones who loved Into the Spider-Verse, they're getting a little bit older, and they should be able to read his stories in very accessible formats like this.
Yeah, it's a good point. I agree with that.
That makes me feel super old now.
So do you mean the release cadence? Because the release cadence is pretty quick. The first two volumes are out now, and this one's coming in January. First, let me just check that. Yeah. The first 2 volumes are out. The second volume just came out a few weeks ago.
So the 2014 series that we're looking at here, this is when he. Dang it, that's a spoiler. This is when he's in another universe, right?
Could it be? Because I thought
the 616 is that. Screw it. Sorry,
I thought that was a year after this, though. I thought that was in 2015.
2015 was Secret Wars, but the 2014 series 1 through, that has to continue because
this is the Ultimate Universe still. This is still the Ultimate Universe. I thought that's what you meant by another universe. Because Cataclysm, that whole story is a big story in over all of the Ultimate titles.
Right. He still hasn't transitioned.
So then the next one will be in the 616.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Tell me about
Deadpool
this
Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1 Magnum Opus. We've already had a Modern Era Deadpool. It was, what was it? It was Volume 5. And so now we're looping back around to the beginning of the Modern Era with the Daniel Way run, which mixed opinions on this one. I haven't read it personally, so I can't say, but um, there are people who love and people who hate it. This one also reprints the Deadpool Thunderbolts crossover that you'll see in the Thunderbolts Omnibus at the top of this solicit.
So when this came out, this was Secret Invasion, and Deadpool hadn't been around for a while. And when they redid it with Daniel Way, it really exploded at the time. And it got me into Deadpool a lot as well. I'd never really read him before this, but I really liked it. I mean, it gets really ridiculous at times, but that is Deadpool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool, man.
You're entitled to that opinion.
I
will say that
too.
Well, I'll say this about this era. This is probably the era that got a lot of people into Deadpool, and a lot of that reason has to be, it has a little bit to do with the way the internet was kind of shaping up. The internet started like this, taking frames from this comic book and posting it out there, and it kind of like became memes, right? And kids, people that weren't reading comics, knew the character as the character, the funny guy that like talks to the readers, like, oh, who's that funny character that breaks the fourth wall? Yeah, that guy's awesome. And it came a lot from this era. It was a lot different than everything that came before it, like in the way that he is written. He's kind of like, I think you said it, he's kind of like crazy in the way that he talks to himself and stuff. Rob's Deadpool's the only one you mean like Baby Nicias' Deadpool? Or which Rob? The one that came back with bad blood and badder blood, that one? Oh, Warren, you and I are so different. Hulk Modern Era Epic Collection. Tell me about this one, buddy.
This is Volume 7, picking up where the previous Modern Era Epic left off. This is still the Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness era of Hulk, where the Red Hulk is still a mystery. We don't really know who the Red Hulk is if you haven't read this stuff before. We're going to find out in this volume. Collecting Hulk, the 2008 series 13 to 18, plus Incredible Hulk 601 to 605, and Dark Reign, the list, Hulk, real from Incredible Hulk 600. Now, there was a question, what is going to happen with this book when the title splits into two? Because it splits into the Hulk and Incredible Hulk, and there's two different lines going on. One follows the Red Hulk and one follows the Green Hulk, but it looks like they're going to put both of them into this one title together.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do what they did with X-Men, right? Like, remember when the Epic Collections got to the adjectiveless X-Men era? They're just gonna put them together. It makes sense.
Which I think is a smart move. Okay. Yep, I do. I think that's good because
strong.
eventually because that period of them being split doesn't last very long, and so it's like just put them all in one here, and they eventually meet up again in the storyline. So.
And that.
So the question though is when Red Hulk becomes Red She-Hulk, and I don't know if they'll stop the series, like they'll stop including those issues at that point, or if they'll give that its own epic collection. I don't know.
Dude, that book is so good by Jeff Parker, the Red Hulk book. It's so different than Jeff Loeb's book. Jeff Parker becomes something else, man. It's so good.
Yeah, I would have thought from Red Hulk, Scorched Earth was the title. That's when Hulk would be on his own. That's what I would have assumed, because that's when Red Hulk did split off and become his own central character in his own book.
49.99, 416 pages, and then we're getting into the John Byrne era of the Fantastic Four. Tell me about this one, Curtis.
First of all, I haven't seen that back cover yet. That's hilarious that they put John Byrne on the back cover of the book. This
Oh.
one is Back to Basics, Volume 13, and it is the very beginning of John Byrne's run as writer and artist of Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four 232 to 248 plus Fantastic Four Roast #1, and What If number 36, which they don't often put what ifs into Epic collections, so that's kind of
They've
cool.
been doing that a little bit more these days.
Yeah, I guess if there's room for it or so. This one brings it up to about almost 500 pages. And yeah, people have been wanting these seminal runs from the 1980s. The Epic collections have been dancing around this era for a long time, and now we're finally at the point where we're getting them all. So this one, Walter Simonson's Thor and Frank Miller's Daredevil is all starting up now, and Roger Stern's Spider-Man's coming soon too.
Yeah, it's nuts that we are finally getting the stuff we've been asking for years. It just feels like that, man. And then new printings of Avengers Epic Collection Under Siege, Volume 16.
Yep, that's always good. We don't get a whole lot of new printings these days, but it's always great to see them when they do pop up.
And that is collecting Avengers 264 to 277. This is the Roger Stern era. Annual 15, Alpha Flight 39, and West Coast Avengers Annual 1. 456 pages, $49.
This is such a good book. This is one of the best Avengers epics, in my opinion. I really like it.
Can you say why, Curtis?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the whole story revolves around the Masters of Evil infiltrating the Avengers mansion and totally and basically beating them. And a lot of this has a lot of the fallout and how the characters deal with that. It's a unique team that has a good mix of classic and new characters that have all different personality and power dynamics, and so they have to figure out how to work as a team together. Fantastic art from John Buscema, inked by Tom Palmer, and those two are an amazing team, and it's great. So if you read this one and the Judgment Day Epic Collection together, those two kind of go as a set, and they're both really good.
Yeah,
Thor has a
that's one of the best stories. That Siege story is so good. Especially the role like Jarvis had to play. Oh man, yeah, Curtis is right. Plus the killer artwork. Not the only book that's coming back to print, because Bishop's Crossing is coming back to print that you all voted for. This is volume 20, that Whilce Portacio cover from 281. I just talked about this. I just filmed my X-Men Gold and Blue omnibus. Brought back a lot of memories, man. And honestly, that omnibus, it has a lot to thank this book for, these epic collections, because it's kind of mapped in that way. And it includes all of Executioner's Song. It's an amazing book. But Curtis, tell me about this.
This is the post Claremont era of X-Men, when Jim Lee and Whilce Portacio, Scott Lobdell's writing a lot of this, and it ties both of the titles together. And Uncanny X-Men and X-Men are both represented in this one book, and it has like now I'm getting confused. Is this the first appearance of Bishop is in this book here, or is that the previous volume? I don't remember.
He appears in 282. One, right? Yeah, 282.
282. Oh yeah. So it is this one. Yeah. So that really sets the stage for a lot of the content here, because a lot of the stories kind of go about what's going to happen to X-Men in the future and such. But there's a lot of great stories in here. This one leads into, what's volume 21 now? That's Executioner's Song, right? Is right after.
Does that have the entirety of Executioner's Song? I cannot remember.
It does, yeah, it does.
That's
this
awesome.
Volume doesn't. It's the next one, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, this is when X-Men starts getting bad, man. This was I was freshman during this era of X-Men, and to me, it was still top of the game, man. I loved it.
Is it accurate that Jim Lee wrote for this? Is that an accurate?
Yeah, he did. Him, Bob Harris, and Will Spertasio created the character of Bishop. But like when they created the character, it was Bob Harris just saying, "We need a black guy," and he didn't really give them any kind of like do this, make his hair look this way, make him huge. Like he was just I think he just told him like, he military type of black character. That's it. That's all that Will Spertasio knew, and he did his own thing, man. And Bishop is his now iconic character of the X-Men.
But Bishop is not black, right? Like he's partially black. There's some kind of odd history there that I've heard described before, where Bishop is actually not fully black. I'm not sure.
This is interesting. I think you just give me an idea for a new segment.
What's that?
Going back and revisiting these characters' origins, because I'm curious what you've heard.
First of all, that sounds very interesting, and I would love to do that. But or you should.
We can do that with Bishop and Cable, and just kill everybody's brain cell. But I'm curious what it was that you've heard.
I believe I've heard Will Spertasio talk about Bishop's origin and that he's supposed to be not just a black man.
Okay.
Chat, can you back me up? Am I crazy here?
Like in the I was gonna say, like he is there's been stories where they hinted that he could be like the grandson of Gateway, who's an Aborigine, right? He's the guy that does the Gateway for the X-Men. So there's another. Oh, this is gonna go down a rabbit hole. I was gonna say there's another storyline, but I think that storyline was dropped. Oh, dude, the Scarlet. I was thinking of all these characters that
would be
Polaris. Good. Polaris, man, that would be like a 3-hour conversation.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's back to print. Oh, Curtis, look at that.
Oh yeah, saving the best for last. I think X-Men Epic Collection Life Death Volume 11. People have been asking for this one for a lot. More of the Claremont era, Uncanny X-Men 176 to 188, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine 1 to 6, and material from Marvel Fanfare number 40. And so, that is interesting.
Sorry about that, Curtis. I was reading what the chat was saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. This was titled Life Death, which is the very famous Barry Windsor Smith issue, because every time he gets on a book, people love it. It just visually looks amazing. But we have a lot of Morlocks in this one. This is kind of the end of the second third, I guess, of Chris Claremont's run, right before he gets into the kind of the crossover era. What else do you want to say about this, Omar?
Life Death is one of my favorite stories because it's not like an X-Men story, right? It's a love story, and it's beautifully drawn by Barry Windsor Smith, who comes back to do Life Death 2. That's how much fun he had with Life Death 1. And also collecting Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. This is when she goes and they go in to feed his master. What was his name? Ogun. And she ends up becoming Shadowcat towards the end of that run. So Kitty Pryde becomes a newer character. And honestly, it's kind of a big growth. That I do know. That one is very divisive, not because of the writing, but it's because of Al Milgram's art. A lot of people, I remember at the comic book store, did not like Al Milgram's art on that book. They were like, man, I love that story. But if it had been anybody else that drew it, like I would have been all over that. It's one of my favorite Shadowcat stories. But yeah, like it was Al Milgrom. I don't think I had a problem with it when I was a kid. Sure, I would have rather had somebody like Paul Smith draw it. But this is John Romita Jr.'s era when he takes on the book completely here with the issue 176. That's the honeymoon of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. Yeah,
and out right now is Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, which is a follow-up to Kitty Pryde and Wolverine.
Yeah, the Claremont story, right? It's pretty cool. I think it's really cool when they go back to the series.
This one fills in a little gap because we have volumes 1 through 10, plus we have 12, The Gift. So this one fits right in the middle of there. And then we also have volumes 13 and 14 already announced. So we've got a lot of X-Men Claremont coming up in the next little while.
So this is an era when the X-Men were so connected that you had to read New Mutants, because there was a character that shows up in New Mutants, Rachel, and then she'll show up here. So Rachel's from the future, right? So Rachel Summers comes from the future, goes to New Mutants, and kind of lets her presence be known. But then she comes over to this book. So by now, if you hadn't read New Mutants, you would have been like, yo, who's this chick? Like, she just kind of pops up out of nowhere. Because that's how connected things were back then. But really great era, man. I love that stuff. Man, they are pumping these out, these Fantastic Four by Wade and Ringo stories, which is great. It's a cheaper way to get these books. It's Fantastic Four 114 to 514 to 524, 256 pages, $34.99. And it is continuing the Mark Waid and Ringo era. Also collected in here is that little bit of era when Mark Waid and Ringo were fired off the book, and then fans wanted them back, so they came back to the book. Because I think, what was it? I think the president ended up losing his job at the time. The president of Marvel. There's a whole thing.
Really?
Anyway, it comes. They do come back. And Spider-Man Homeroom Heroes #4. Spider-Man gets schooled by the Fantastic Four. 32 pages, $3.99. And that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
That is it. So, what is the one book everybody is excited about? I forgot. I still have to pack. I still have to edit videos. Normally, I like to go on and on about these wonderful collections, but today is a different story. Curtis, my friend, I'm going to stop here at the Epic collections because I know you're going to pick an Epic, right? What's the one book you're
I am, and there's so much to choose from here, and it's a toss-up. I can't decide which I'm more excited about, X-Men or Fantastic Four. It might be Fantastic Four, though, I think.
That's not a bad choice. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Byrne's Fantastic Four is, it's great. It doesn't start off super, super great, but it gets going. And once it gets going, man, there's no stop. It's awesome. What about you, Sean? What's the book you're most excited for, buddy?
For me, this is pretty easy. That Thunderbolts collection, that Darkwing Thunderbolts.
Let's go back to it.
An incredible era of comics. I don't just like the Warren Ellis piece. I think, I believe it was Jeff Parker that came on after, or who am I thinking of?
So Andy Diggle,
Andy
did
Diggle.
a run, and then it was Christos Gage did his stuff.
Yes, all that stuff I thought was excellent. And I have every one of these individual issues, but I'm never going to just go and piecemeal grab them all. So this is exactly what I need to add to my collection.
And
So collected editions are cool.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Omnibo? What are you most excited for, buddy?
Dude, it's a massive, massive tie between this and Dakin. That's how I say it. I want
You really like
both of those omnis.
Dark
And I want them
Wolverine.
out.
Which cover, by the way, of Dark Wolverine?
It's going to be the not the DM, only because that was the first cover on the hardcover that I've got, and I love that tattoo, man. I don't care how cheesy it is now in 2025. Back then, it was cool, and it was like an edgier Wolverine. I loved it.
Edgier Wolverine. This is the one. I do like the Kamankulli cover because it's a homage to Wolverine 1, the John Buscema cover. Yeah. Man, he's all tatted up. It is a hard choice though, because that's his second costume, right? It's all tore up.
I didn't like that one.
And this is the costume that he had. For me, it probably is no surprise that it's X-Men by Kieran Gillen. Kieran Gillen to me is a phenomenal writer when it comes to like his independent stuff. I really enjoyed. And when he came on board to X-Men, man, there was just something special about it. And I thought he was such a great fit for the X-Men. He had a lot of these characters' voices down, and it reminded me almost of like the excitement I would get with like Joss Whedon's X-Men. Like there's a lot more depth that he did. Like there's a lot more things that he brought into the book. Plus, it's got beautiful artwork by the late Carlos Pacheco. You've got Terry Dodson on here and Ron Garney. But yeah, I really enjoyed this era because I didn't dig the Matt Fraction era of X-Men, and then he came right afterwards and kind of tweaked some things and did his own thing. And I was sad that it didn't last longer. I wish it would have, but looking at this, man, it's 1,000 pages, so maybe he was there for a while. And then of course he came back for the Krakoa era and just gave us a lot of things. So well, I'm happy for this collection.
I would even argue that he had a lot of ideas that would become very important later, because he was the one. I mean, he's not the only writer to do this, but he, took them away from just living in the mansion. He introduced the version of Sinister that would go on to become the popularized version of Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
So Kieran Gillen, did he give us Abigail Brand, or did he just was he just prominently using her?
Oh, and it goes back to what I was saying. Like, it reminded me of Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon created the character in Astonishing X-Men, but Sword came back heavy during this run.
Right.
I remember this joke when we were talking about Dakin years ago. I got a guy with a healing factor, half tattoos. So that's what we are excited for. What about everybody else? What's the one book everybody else is excited for? Let me know if you're watching this later in the comments down below. Or you can tell me now. Rodimus, how you doing, buddy? Volume 4 of the Thunderbolts. And of course, Warren agrees. The Dakin Omnibus. There you go, Omnibo. And X-Men by Gillen. Love that guy. Same. I really do. I think it's a great book. Any real difference between 2005 and 23 Absolute Watchmen, like paper quality or anything? I did a comparison, I think, if you watch my video on that. So, yeah, I got your answer for you in that video. I can't remember off the top of my head. Sorry I missed most of this video. I'll have to watch the recording tomorrow. Okay, that's good deal. I announced what else was in the top 20 most wanted reprints. There's a video for that you all voted for. X-Men by Gillen is my pick. Real Avengers Under Siege epic. And X-Men by Gillen and Edger Wolverine. Is that cold or South Pole? Gillen's X-Men is the one. Spider-Man Wolverine Incredible Hulk 6. Gray Hulk. Bring Gray Hulk to comics book series. Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. Miles Morales Modern Era Collection 3. And Hulk Modern Epic Collection 7. Bruce Jones Hulk. Gillen's. Yeah, Bruce Jones was a close second for me. Gillen's Uncanny and Thunderbolts. For me, it's Fantastic Four Volume 13 of Modern Era Hulk. X-Men and Fantastic Four. X-Men Life Death, baby. Gillen's X-Men. Byrne's FF and Life Death. Joe Cool is a big Byrne fan. Even that rough area of Byrne's art he still loves. The 3 X-Men epics for me, definitely. Thanks for the show. Thank you for watching. Nothing for me. That's a good thing. Bar, how are you, buddy? Dakin and Thunderbolts. Gillen, X-Men, and Dakin gets my money. Take Dakin if it only completes the whole Wolf. I think it is. I mean, the Dakin book is huge, and I think it's everything, with the exception of, like, you don't get his first appearance. That's found in Wolverine Origins. But I can't, like, there's no way they're not planning a Wolverine Origins collection. And you'll get that.
He's saying that he'll take this if only to complete the whole Wolverine series for himself.
I'm sorry. God bless you then. God bless you. Have a good trip. Thank you, man. Looking forward to it. I get that. Stern Avengers, dude, it's so good. If you've never read that run, if you've never read that story, it is so good. It's so good. Let me go ahead and remove this and we can chat for a few. I just want to take this time to thank you all so much for joining me today for the Solicitations video. I know you all have a busy schedule too, but seriously, thank you all. It makes this a lot more fun than doing it by myself. So I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, man, and thank you for hosting. And while we're talking about it, everybody, if you guys are listening to this and you've enjoyed the conversation, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not. Omar works extremely hard, harder than you guys can imagine, and he deserves all the support in the world because he gives you this content reliably.
Oh, thank you, dude. I'm gonna copy that and send it to Melanie. Works so hard, harder than you, Melanie.
I didn't say that.
I said it.
That.
I said it.
You have to live with it.
I do. Not for the next 11 days. I'm gonna be in another country. She ain't gonna be having me to argue with. Curtis, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me online at epicmarvelpodcast.com on my YouTube channel where I stream on Tuesday afternoons, and then follow my Facebook group. Just search for Epic Collections on Facebook, and we just talk about Epic Collections all the time. James has the links, as you can see right in there. We also have a sister group for the DC Finest collections, which I'm really enjoying as well. And I'm on a stream with Dom of Dom of X, his YouTube channel, on the last Friday of every month to talk about DC Finest. So there you go.
Wow. Thank you so much. Congratulations on 120K. I just noticed. I have been so out of the loop. I haven't noticed at all. Thank you so much, my buddy Edwin. Thank you all so much for subscribing and watching and liking and sharing. And seriously, thank you all.
It's incredible.
Sean, what about you, my friend? Where can people find you, buddy?
You guys can find me at the Comics Pals. We'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about this week's releases. So if you consider yourself a Wednesday warrior like I do, come hang out with us and hear my thoughts about this week's biggest books. And then every single Saturday, we have our main show, which is at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. I know that conflicts with this. Watch us later. Watch us whenever. But we always have a great time over there, taking your questions, talking about big picture industry stuff, having big guests on, creator interviews, all that jazz you can find on the Comics Pals YouTube channel. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, my brother. And last but not least, Omnibo from Aussieverse. Where can people find you, bro?
Just search Aussieverse. We're on every platform nearly with some sort of content, but primarily YouTube. We have heaps and heaps of guests on. We just had Josh Greathouse on last week with his Kickstarter, weekly FOCs, and lots of shenanigans, stupid stuff.
Thank you. And thank you, James, for sharing the links as well. Don't forget to pack, Omar, and I'll see you. Dude, I cannot wait. I get to hang out with Max. He's been in the United States a couple times, and we try to meet up here, but never happened. I had to go all the way to the Netherlands to hang out with that guy. So
Can you make sure you tell me if Max is as attractive in real life as he looks on screen? You know, some people you meet and they're just not.
I will wear my readers, and I will let you know. He's using a filter the whole time. That's what it is, the filter. And I am the Uncanny Omar. I will be back live on September 20th, but this Saturday, Dom is taking over. On September 20th, it's at 10 a.m. because I'll be streaming from Germany. So thank you all so much for being here. There will be a giveaway in November to celebrate 120 or whatever we're at. So thank you all so much. And for the people that have asked if we take donations, we do. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of books to give away too, though. Let me look at my inventory first. But thank you all so much for watching. Smash that like button on the way out. Stay healthy and safe out there. Really quick, what are the chances of Cassandra Cain Batgirl run from the early 2000s getting an Omni? Well, I can tell you exactly from the horse's mouth that Dustin Kitchen said, well, now we have to make one since this was voted as the #1 most wanted DC Omni. So 100% it will come. And on that note, everybody, stay healthy and safe out there. We are out of here.
Take care.